I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is Breaking the Narrative, and tonight we're going to be talking about cancel culture and all the craziness, especially with regards to Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling. There's been some interesting news updates. I have tonight with me someone who's been canceled, someone who's just done the absolute worst things in the world, which is be on Twitter, basically, what we're all guilty of. Oh my God. We have tonight, Kara. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited to get to hang out with you. I basically knew nothing about you until you got fired.
It's okay.
So I'm glad to do this show and get to know you better. Please tell everyone in the audience who you are and where they can find you for those of us who may not know.
So my name is Kara. I am the previous community manager from Limited Run Games. You may have seen that on the internet. You can find me on Twitter. I got it right there, and I have been streaming most weekdays from 12 to about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern on Twitch at Kara Lynne.
Nice. Yeah, and all of the links is in the description, including her Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. So you definitely want to check those out. Make sure you are subscribed. But you're not doing YouTube, right?
I have contemplated trying to stream on YouTube, but I haven't touched it yet. I just got like Restream and everything set up on like that front, but I haven't actually like dabbled in it yet. But
Okay.
I've contemplated it, but not really.
Well, the funny part is that I don't usually game online, like stream gaming. Like I'm a huge gamer, but I never streamed games until Hogwarts Legacy came out. This has been the first game that I've streamed.
It's a good one to stream too.
It's fun. It's really,
so
really
fun.
fun. And I thought about dabbling into Twitch, but Twitch is just way too out there for me. I feel like I'm such a boomer. I don't get anything. So I'm fine with being on YouTube.
Yeah, stick with what you're comfortable with. Like trying to jump into Twitch is like you can't grow on Twitch without other platforms.
That's
so that's the tough thing about Twitch is like the number one way to grow on Twitch is to like do TikToks, do YouTube videos, do clips, like all that kind of stuff. Like that is that's kind of the main way to grow because their discoverability on there is absolute crap.
That's interesting. I've been told that too. Camelot. I don't know if you know who Camelot is. He said the same thing. He said he had kind of like a bit of problems getting the algorithm or whatever for Twitch.
Mhm.
Somebody mentioned, didn't you? Yeah, didn't you stream Spider-Man? That was a test stream. I only did it once because that was the first time I was ever, testing like being able to stream at all. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do one that I know very well because I had beat the game already. So I was like, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. And that was funny. And one of my friends, as heel versus babyface, I don't know if you know him, he had to help me like do the tech setup for it because I was like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm used to StreamYard. I don't get OBS. So he had to like call in, like he was like on the phone with me, being like, do this and do that. I'm like, how do people do this? But anyways, so lots to talk about tonight. Kara, tell me, how did you get into the gaming industry? I guess let's start with that. How did you get into the gaming industry?
So I actually got into the gaming industry, believe it or not, by doing hair. I did
Oh.
hair for 10 years before I got into the industry. A client of mine owned or had run like a gaming news site and knew that I was big into games, and he was actually the same person who also got me to start streaming. Like,
Oh,
gosh, 8 years ago, 9 years ago almost.
wow.
And so basically I told him I was up for like reviewing games. I was going to conventions, so he was helping me get like press passes so I could go do interviews of like from like game devs and voice actors and that kind of stuff. And that was kind of my first like foot in the door. And then like I started getting invited to like stream at like DreamHack, and then I started to volunteer for DreamHack. And then from there, one of my coworkers at DreamHack had told me about LRG.
Wait, what's DreamHack? I'm sorry.
DreamHack is the esports convention.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
they do like a lot of like Valorant, and like they're really well known for like CS:GO, Rocket League, like
Gotcha.
any like competitive type games.
Gotcha.
And I worked in like the stream studio, and like most recently I was the lead for cosplay for a big competition they did down in Atlanta. And
That's cool. Do you cosplay yourself?
I've cosplayed I have a couple times, but it's been a long, long time since I've cosplayed. I like the technical, like I like the organizational aspect of it, like organizing all of it, making sure everybody's good. Just
the
making
stuff
sure
that
that they're
I
taken
don't
care
like.
of.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. I know who to call next time. I like
Yes,
cosplaying, but I don't like
like
any of the other stuff. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
But one of my coworkers there, he had told me about Limited Run and how they were looking for a community manager, and kind of goes.
That's
Yeah.
how you got in there. Now when you like, okay, do you know who I mean, you must know who Frosk is.
I've heard. I didn't hear about Frosk until like everything went down like the G4 drain within the last couple of months.
Yeah. So like, did you hear about how they did like, because this whole thing dropped after that whole thing happened with her, and after G4 went under again, they basically said like somebody came out, kind of dropped like an interview that they did like in the interview process where they were trying to like vet like the person, and they were saying like, oh, what what would you do, like they were trying to figure out if the person can kind of gatekeep better like in the interview process, and like what's wrong with Batman was the question, I believe. Like don't quote me on the question because I'm probably getting the details myself, but it was basically a really bad interview where it showed that like they were really looking for a specific type of person. Did you experience anything like that getting interviewed?
Not really.
Okay.
I think a lot of people were expecting me to be a lot bitchier about the whole situation. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. I'm sorry.
Of course. Yes, you can. Yes, you can have a sailor mouth. I do.
But so I did realize that a lot of people that had reached out to me started to pull back their requests once I came out and I was being civil about the whole situation, because they weren't getting that furious and they weren't getting the buzzwords and like that kind of stuff that they were hoping for headlines, I think. There's been probably about 3 or 4 like big things that immediately just ghosted me.
Oh,
That were just
wow.
like, hey, like, we're gonna get you in, we're gonna get you in. And then as soon as I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, they just straight up just ghost.
Okay, so now let's backtrack a little bit, because for those of the people in the audience that don't know what actually happened, can you kind of go over a little bit of a TLDR, what exactly happened, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So the main story behind it all is somebody, I don't know if they had a personal vendetta or what, but somebody started to go into my social media and they went through 7 years of my tweets and found one single tweet that came off to them as transphobic.
Hmm.
And they took that tweet and the fact that I follow 5, maybe 6 conservative figures on Twitter. That's literally it. And basically, we're tweeting at Limited Run and we're like, if you don't fire her, I'm never going to spend any money with you again. And they got that tweet at 9:30 in the morning, and I was fired by 4:30 that afternoon.
Wow. That is a short span of time. And I remember when I read about like what had happened, that you followed people like Libs of TikTok, and I was like everybody follows Libs of TikTok. Like
Everybody
who
follows
cares?
TikTok.
Like the people that you were following or liking the posts of, it was like, oh, these are just generally
The
big
thing is,
accounts.
I'd never liked anything or retweeted anything.
Oh, you just
I had
followed them.
never even interacted with the channels that they were basically accusing me of following.
Wow,
This was
that's
just the fact that I
crazy.
followed them, because you can go through and because I went through, I was like, have I interacted with anything? So I sat down and I was like, okay, like I'm not seeing anything that I had liked or retweeted that could even be considered controversial or political in the slightest.
That's really crazy, because I mean, you hear about this kind of stuff where, like, especially during the COVID craziness that was going on. Like, I heard about things like this happening to other people, where they were like, oh, so and so got fired because they liked to tweet about vaccine hesitancy, or they, interacted with something, or retweeted something, or like retweeted a doctor that, they shouldn't have been retweeting or whatever. And they get their job, like they get fired, or, things like that. I mean, I can't think of any, like a person at the top of my head, but when like it's in your brain, it's in the collective, like it's happened before. And it's kind of like a phenomena, because it just seems such a bizarre thing to do. And like the fact that you said like this person went through 7 years of your Twitter like feed. How do you even do something like that? Like, dude, I try to go back like a week on Twitter,
Right?
and it like stops after a certain point, and it just like goes back up because it glitches. I'm like, how does one even dedicate this much time into hating someone?
When this went down, like the week that this all happened, I sat down and it took me 3 hours to go through just the last year and a half of my tweets, because I wanted to go through and make sure that I wasn't doxing myself, because a lot of people were coming at me at that time. So
Yeah.
I was going through, I was like getting rid of any information that could show where I was, anything like that. So I sat down and just kind of wanted to make sure that I was safe and my family was safe. Because I was getting quite a few threats and that kind of stuff. So I sat down
Wow.
and kind of just went for, and that took me 3 hours to do just for the last year and a half.
I can't even imagine what that person spent, like the time that person spent to like go through 7 years of your stuff to be like, "Oh yeah, I got this person," like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so bizarre to me because I mean, and I listened to your interview with Young Ripa. Shout out to Young Ripa, and I thought it was a really good interview, and like I really resonated with some of the stuff you said because you're such a good person, like you're a kind person in the sense that like you're fine with letting people just be who they are, like
Yeah.
as long as like you are who you are, then that's fine, like as long as you're not doing anything bad to people.
As long as you
Like,
don't weaponize it, I have no
yes,
problem with what you do.
right, and I'm the same way. I'm like, as long as you don't like just do you, I'll do
I'll do
me.
me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and we can all just get along or whatever in some way of form of capacity. But the thing is that, when you start to get into the weed of things and then you realize, wow, some people really want to do me harm.
Mhm.
That's when it becomes really difficult to kind of like hold that kumbaya feeling of like, you guys, you be you and I'll be me kind of thing. And I really felt that during like the COVID craziness because I was kind of like a hardcore, like, no kind of thing to all the
Mhm.
lockdowns and things like that. Like I didn't like any of that kind of stuff that was happening. And I felt like I was really alone at the time. But then, more people started speaking up, and now we're in a different place. Now we're in a different environment.
I don't know, you still can't say anything without being dubbed a non-believer.
Well, at least on Twitter, it's a different place. YouTube, whole different story. But yeah, like I know what you mean. It's crazy though. So going back to this whole cancellation thing. Now, you're a gamer, obviously. I've
Mhm.
noticed that you've been playing Hogwarts Legacy. Kara, it's like you haven't even learned like all
Oh,
the stuff that's happened to
no.
you. You're like, you know what? Like, I don't even care. I'm gonna play Hogwarts Legacy. I'm doing
Yeah.
the same thing, girl.
I have always been against bullies
Mm,
and people throwing toddler tantrums. Like, and that's all this is a
mm-hmm.
tantrum. Like people, like
It is.
that's exactly what it is. Like you look at a 2-year-old who wants the ice cream and will yell and scream until they get the ice cream. And that's all Twitter is right now.
Yeah, that's what Twitter's been for a long time. It's just this is a
It's
really
just getting worse because you're that pandering parent who keeps on giving them the ice cream. So they keep doing it. And it's just, no, let them cry it out.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm definitely not down with bullies either. And you know who else is not down with bullies is J.K. Rowling because she came out today or I think the other day. And she started being like, you know what? I'm gonna start suing people for calling me the Yahtzee word. So this is the article here. It says J.K. Rowling critic forced to publicly apologize for calling her a Yahtzee after lawsuit threat. Self-professed drag queen and jazz hands enthusiast apologized to J.K. Rowling for causing potential upset. And the article says Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling appears to have successfully used the legal baton to force a critic who called her Yahtzee to apologize. She has faced fierce backlash from former fans because of her views and statements about transgender individuals and biological sex. Rowling first made headlines in June 2020 after sharing a series of tweets on her thoughts regarding the concept of sex. Now, this always blows my mind about what her like original comment was and what people started freaking out
That
over.
sparked the whole thing.
Yeah, which is this right here. If sex isn't real, there is no same sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. She tweeted at the time, I know and love trans people. She even said it. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. This began an avalanche of criticism and name calling aimed at Rowling. And so in December 2022, Rowling responded to one of her detractors. The thing about the solicitor game is everyone can play. JJ, ignore your hyperbolic metaphor about burning me to death in 2020. But I'm starting to think that this was a mistake. What's your solicitor's view on the Yahtzee accusation? Would they advise you to defend it in court? So this is the screen cap of the actual tweet. Actually, it's not a screen cap. I can actually go to it. So like, actually, if I do, because let me bring up the actual person's thing that they wrote to her. So this is it. Well, to be fair, the woman in question wasn't actually being threatened with being burned alive. Hyperbolic metaphor based on her original tweet, but you know that you're playing dumb intentionally for clout, and she also is a Yahtzee, or at least has views that align with them. So I guess JK had enough. She was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done talking to these people and letting them just keep going on about this BS.
Mhm.
So she told him that she's like, on one Twitter user named JJ Wells posted a now deleted tweet that said Rowling was a Yahtzee, or at least has the view aligning with them. Rowling responded with a threat of legal action in December, saying, "Okie dokie, JJ, we'll play it your way. Give my regards to your solicitor." On Monday, 2 months after the Yahtzee accusation, Wells issued a retraction. "I would like to publicly apologize for a previous Twitter thread where I interacted with J.K. Rowling on matters relating to the transgender community. I have now removed these tweets and would like to apologize to J.K. Rowling directly for causing potential upset," he wrote. And this is the screen cap here. In a later tweet, he added, "I would also like to retract my likening to J.K. Rowling to any of far-right Nazi organization, and emphasis, I do not wish any individual inclusive of J.K. Rowling to come to any harm." Now, and that's one of the things that really irks me, is how much a lot of these SJWs, or whatever you want to call them, a lot of the people that kind of like go into this hive mind, they start to like wish people death and harm, especially like J.K. Rowling was someone like that. And I heard you say that that's kind of what happened to you as well. Is it something that you experienced?
I was getting a decent amount of people who were emailing me and DMing me and hoping, like, expressing how they hoped I would die or get hit by a bus, or wishing upon horrible things, just because of something that they perceived to be offensive, which to me and apparently to a lot of other people was very tame. So it's just that mindset of good and evil.
Wow.
And it's just very they went from 0 to 100 really fast. Like, it's, to me, it's not healthy to feel that way and to get so worked up over something that quickly.
It's definitely not healthy. And like, going back to your situation, so when you woke up that day and you were like, you get this, I'm guessing you got an email, you got something like, that they told you
I
got to
got a DM
come.
on Slack from another coworker who was just like, "Hey, just want you to be aware that like this is starting to go around." And that was the only message I'd gotten from anybody that day.
Okay. And then they kind of, what do they tell you exactly when they let you go?
I mean, honestly, that conversation was kind of a blur. But it was just like, "Hey, we don't want to do this, but unfortunately we're being kind of pressured to, and we don't have another choice. We presented other options, but they weren't possible." And
when they said we're being pressured to, they meant by that weirdo that went 7 years through your Twitter?
I would assume either that, or a lot of people have come to the assumption of the parent company. But I'm not 100% sure. I can't really point fingers. But that's just reading between the lines. That's what I felt.
And did they tell you it was specifically because you followed these people's accounts on Twitter?
It was because of the negative publicity that it was bringing.
Well, interestingly, so much so the negative publicity that you ended up bringing kind of put them on the map. It kind of was like the Streisand effect. That same thing happened with Hogwarts Legacy, happened with you, because I had no idea who these people were. Like, I didn't know who Limited Run Games was until your situation. And I think a lot of people were kind of like that too. And it's just really funny that way because like, you know, because of what they did, now I know you
backfired and
I
it blew up
know.
in their face. And I sit here and I chuckle about it.
It's hilarious. Do you know, or like, I'm sure you have friends with me, insiders, or like, you know, some people in the inside that probably told you like certain things afterwards. No,
Nope.
nobody.
Nope.
Did anybody stand up for you at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Wow. So this company was
Everybody
just really...
that I considered close to me has completely unfollowed me on every social media account.
So you're
has
like
completely
persona non
ghosted
grata.
me.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody completely ghosted. There's been 2 girls that reached out to me that like weren't in my department or anything. But those are the only 2 people. But even then we haven't really like talked a whole lot. Like, we're talking about going to have dinner soon, but we just haven't had time to do it yet. But
Wow.
it's completely quiet.
That's so crazy. Well, I mean, I hope that they end up like G4. That's all I can say. Because that how they treated you was just completely like just beyond
To me, it was
anything.
cowardly.
Absolutely, it was cowardly. Absolutely. Now that you've had time to kind of process the whole thing, what are your thoughts now, thinking back on your experience?
I personally feel like it was almost a blessing in disguise. Just because, I mean, one, I'm looking at a lot of like, I still follow them on social media, and I go through and I look at like some of the comments that they're getting, and I see that there's still products that haven't been delivered that they've been promising to deliver for months now.
Oh
And
no.
so I'm just like, I'm just glad I'm not having to deal with their social media right now. And I feel for anybody who has to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like,
Oh man.
I don't, and it's, I don't know. Like, I've had some other companies that have reached out, and I've been trying my hand at content creation again. I hadn't touched content creation for myself in almost a little over 2 years now. So it's kind of been fun getting back into that and just kind of hanging out. And
That's awesome. I think, you know what, to the YouTube point, I think you should definitely make a YouTube channel too. I think you should make a YouTube channel, whether you stream games on it or not. I think you'd be good at it. Why not? I mean, you should just build your own crew. You know what I mean? Like that's what this is all about. And that's what that's what's impressive about you, is that you took this moment in your life and you decided, you know what, I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And I think that that's really really impressive. Marilyn's over here shouting rumble to hell with YouTube. You know what, Marilyn, you're right.
I have a
Maryland's
Rumble.
being, you're right.
I haven't streamed on it yet, but I did make one.
Same.
I have a Rumble. I do have a Locals. I haven't streamed on it yet.
I know I haven't streamed on it yet either, because it's like it's a whole other thing to get.
It is.
Rumble streaming, and apparently you have to put the codes in and everything like that. And I'm like, I'm a boomer. Why can't they make it easier? Damn it. Like, this is why I can't get into Twitch. I got to hit up like so many other people, be like, can you help me out with this? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's just it's tough though, and it's weird too because like I've been laid off before, Kara. In my just job, in my regular job, and it's one of the worst things that I ever had to go through. Like I got laid off from Future Shop, which is it's in Canada. It's kind of like the equivalent to Best Buy when they went under. I was working there, and it was like one of the worst days of my life. And like so when I heard about your like the situation that happened with you, I really kind of like related in that sense because you like going through something like that is already tough, but what
And then
you
making
went
it
through,
public.
yeah, but what you went through was so public and it was just so glaringly gross. Like I there's no other word for it because what they did to you was so wrong. Like and that's the kind of thing that really pisses me off about this world and this culture in general because I think that someone like you who's not really like I don't because I went through your feed, I was checking out your Twitter too, I'm like, what's wrong with this girl? What did she do? Let me see how alt right she is. Let me look into
I
this a
like
little
Harry
bit.
Potter.
That's
That's it. That's it. This
it.
whole thing started. So I tweeted, I think it was on like December 28th, about like I'd responded to a friend who's just like, I want to know your guys' like genuine opinions on the Hogwarts
Mhm.
Legacy game. I was like, I'm personally really excited. And
Mm.
after I tweeted that is whenever all this went down.
Oh my God. So this was like a Hogwarts Legacy situation that started like all of this. That's crazy. You never really think about this stuff until you talk to someone that's affected. Yeah, Chris is right. What a monster. My
Mhm.
God. My God, man.
And like I reached out to my friend who I'd responded to because I was just like, hey, like I see that like I just recently talked to him. I was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I hope you're not getting any like negativity pointed at like you because you asked the question. And like a lot of
Mhm.
people have been using my response in like articles and stuff. And
Mm.
his name was attached to it. And so I was just like, I just want to make sure you're okay. You're not like seeing any like blowback from this on your channel because I know this is like your livelihood that you're dealing with. And he's somebody who doesn't support the game. But he's
Mm.
still like, hey, like I still like it's your decision to play what you want to play or don't. Like, and that's okay.
Did he get any blowback by
Not
being
that
associated with you?
no, not that
Well,
he
thank
didn't
God.
say he didn't. Yeah.
Mm. Well, there's been other people though that have been affected by kind of like the same type of narrative. There was actually a developer that worked on the game that was like there was rumors that he got fired, but he wasn't fired. He quit. His name is Troy Leavitt. Leavitt? Leavitt?
I have no idea.
Um,
I would butcher it. I'm horrible. I am
You're so bad with
horrible with
names.
names. Absolutely so bad with them. I would absolutely butcher it.
Oh my God, I was butchering your name in the back for like 20 minutes. Like, is it Kara,
I
Carolyn?
answer to all of it. I don't care. You could call me something mean. I'd be like, huh? What?
Oh my God.
I doesn't bother me.
Oh my God. It's so funny to me when people get bothered by like name pronunciations being wrong. It's like, how dare you pronounce my name wrong? I'm
No.
like, dude, come on.
My
Let's go.
mom got more mad about like people pronouncing my name wrong in interviews than I did. She's like, I
Oh.
didn't name you Kara. I named you Kara. I'm like, shut up, mom. It's fine.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Moms always get mad on our behalf. My
They
mom
do.
always gets mad too. It's pretty funny. But this guy, former Hogwarts Legacy producer Troy Levitt, we're just gonna say Troy L. Troy L says reaction to his exit was the canary in the coal mine for making team speculates for marketing team speculates they changed strategies to avoid a biased press. And so this guy, he said that basically there was speculation he speculates reactions to his departure may have led to a marketing team take the game directly to fans in order to avoid the biased press. He made a video about it. This is the video where he goes through like several different types of articles kind of like these types of articles where, let me show you just one. I mean, this guy had actually shown receipts of like 20, 30 articles saying Hogwarts Legacy developer leaves after controversy over reactionary YouTube videos. And so basically what happened was a lot of these outlets tried to picture this paint this guy as an alt-right YouTuber because he had a bunch of YouTube videos about like Ben Shapiro and like John Lasseter and like a couple of different canceled people and things like that. And so they like a bunch of people apparently freaked out and we're like, oh, this guy's like, he works for Hogwarts Legacy and he's an alt-right guy. And like, oh, like he quit.
Conservative, you're straight alt-right. They don't even care.
There's no in between anymore, man.
Nope.
It's crazy. Where did that article go that I had? Okay, there it is. Sorry. Too many tabs. We got, okay, there it is. So then this guy's like, it says Troy had previously come under fire after major gaming news outlets bore down on his so-called anti-feminism and pro Gamergate vids on his YouTube channel.
Let me guess, Kotaku?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's the case. Outcry picked up in early 2021, 2 years after Leave It had last uploaded a video to the channel. Topics typically include social justice and points raised by gaming critics such as Anita Sarkeesian, of course. Despite the outcry, he claimed he had disclosed his YouTube channel to Warner Bros. Games and revealed that it didn't appear to be an issue for them. This made it all the more surprising when he quit Hogwarts Legacy's development a month after the outcry first began. So the timeline with what's going on with you kind of, I think, lines up a little bit too, because that's when the Hogwarts Legacy, like the outcry started. Many assumed it was due to the controversy, but he revealed in his own video that later that month he had left to help his family with the situation that had grown chronic. He claims talks with Warner Bros. About retiring came before any of the articles. He also noted said articles lacking any scandal beyond his opinion. Now, let me ask you this. Did you notice any weird articles written about you by, like, let's say the likes of Kotaku or anybody else? Like, did you see like you being used in headlines in any way like this?
Not really. Everything that I saw was putting me in a positive light, thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
I think I saw one YouTube video that was negative, and that was it. I think that was the only negativity that I saw from the media.
Well, that's good.
I got very lucky with that because I definitely could have been used for something completely different. And that was one thing whenever I spoke to media, I was just like, I want to see drafts of what you write. I don't want to be used to push your agenda. If I'm going to talk to you, it's going to be about what I want to talk about. And I was very strict about that whenever I spoke to media.
Did they reach out to you about your situation at all?
There was quite a few. Like Fox News reached out to me. Like the National Review reached out. I know the Daily Wire and the Blaze both did articles about it. But I know the National Review, I believe, is the one that I really like sat down and talked to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people started to take from there.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see that article. It's funny too, though, because like I said, I was like trying to look you up a little bit, see what is this girl all about? And when I did like a Google search about you, well, you didn't come up as like an alt-right Nazi or anything like that, which is good. Not that like you should be labeled that, but there's been so many times where I have somebody on, or like, or I want to get somebody on. Like, for example, Lauren Southern. I haven't had her on, but I remember when I looked her up, it was like, oh, she's like an alt-right Nazi loving, like blah blah blah. Like she has a Wikipedia where it like describes her as that. Other people I've looked up like that I've kind of laughed about, like Shoe on Head. Like there's a lot of like alt-right
Oh yeah.
Nazi,
Shoe on Head is I just recently my husband just introduced me to her videos and she's hilarious.
she's funny. She's like really
She really
entertaining.
is.
Yeah. And there was like, well, oh, Chrissy Mayer, of course,
Mhm.
alt-right.
I've been on Chrissy Mayer.
She's great.
She was
Fantastic.
entertaining to listen to.
Yeah, she's definitely all right now. But who else? Who else was it? Anyways, there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, like, and whenever I see that term now, I'm kind of like numb to it now because
You
I'm
roll
like,
your eyes at it because you're
Mhm.
just like, this is somebody who's just immediately jumps to name calling if they don't agree with you.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of like the worst part about quote unquote cancel culture or, like whatever it is that we want to call this weird witch hunting phenomenon now, is that I think it really takes away from actual bad people,
I mean,
because there's
you
actual
see
bad
this
people out
with
there.
like the Eliza Blue stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And which
Yeah.
I stay out of it. I lurk from the shadows and I see the drama and I eat my popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
And like the only people who are actually getting hurt on this is the people that she was trying to bring attention to with the trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm actually really surprised you know about that stuff.
Well, it all dropped on that all started to go down was the night I was supposed to go on Simpcast. I was
Oh.
um I was supposed to be on that night, but I was like the weekend everything went down. I like panicked. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this yet. I hadn't made a statement or anything yet. I had
Mhm.
just gone out and was like drinking. And so I was just like, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna hang out in their chat and I'm gonna chat with them. And the first thing that they talked about was the whole Eliza Blue thing because I had no idea who she was until that.
I didn't know
So
who she was either. Now, okay, that's this. I'm glad you brought her up because let me ask you this: because a lot of people claim
just be
that
careful. We might your video might get taken down for even
I
mentioning
know,
her
but
name.
I know, but we're not going to show any videos or anything like that. We're just going to talk. We're just going to talk. I'm not even going to show a single picture of her. But we're talking about cancel culture here, and there's a bunch of people that have pointed out on Twitter that we're kind of practicing in cancel culture, like people like me and Brittany Venti and Chrissy Mayer and that crowd that's kind of bringing attention to what Eliza Blue's done by censoring people and everything like that. And for me, it's kind of weird because I'm like, I hate cancel culture. So when somebody's like
Mhm.
accusing me of being part of the problem, I'm like, wait, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back and kind of really think about what I'm doing or what I'm saying.
My view on it is if you're asking for answers, if you're wanting a certain side of the story, that is fine. It's
Hmm.
whenever you go and just like, this person is this, shut them up. That is whenever things start to go downhill. Like if you're like I personally thought Brittany Venti's tweet was very calm
Hmm.
in the way that she had approached it. Now, I
Agreed.
think it could have gone through DMs instead.
Hmm.
Yes. But I personally did not see anything wrong with her tweet.
Agreed. And I mean, like, and I said this to Brittany too. Like, I mean, I think at the time, if she had DM'd Brittany and said, "Hey, like, look, this is from a point in my past that I don't want to talk about, and it's really painful, but here's the
Mhm.
timeline, and I'm fine with talking it out with you privately, but please delete the tweet." I think first of all, well, Brittany confirmed that she would have deleted the tweet.
Yeah, of course.
And also like this whole thing wouldn't have just kind of unraveled from
And now
there.
people are digging into her past and they're finding a lot of these holes in her past and a lot of like hearsay. And
Mhm.
it's just, she brought it upon herself, sadly, just for immediately bringing up that wall instead of just having a conversation.
Kara, you said holes in her past.
At least we put this matter to bed. That's what she said. Or he said.
I'm sorry, that was funny. You're right though, and that's the whole Streisand effect thing, which is exactly the same thing that happened to Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep.
Because I didn't know about Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a Harry Potter fan. Like, to be fair, I haven't read the books. I know. I'm terrible.
You read what we talked about, but you haven't read Harry Potter?
Yeah, it's weird. It's because I didn't want the movies to get ruined for me because I watched all
Okay.
the movies and I loved all the movies so much that I was like, I swear to God, I know I'm gonna read these books and they're gonna be so much better, and I'm gonna hate the movies, and I don't want the movies to be ruined for me. So
I
that's
can understand that.
So that's why I didn't read.
I read them as they came out years ago. So I think I remember reading the first book whenever I was in 5th grade.
Wow. Oh my God, you're that young? Kara, I want to cancel you now because you're that young.
I
You
turn
made me feel
31
old.
next month.
Oh my God, you're so young. I love it. I love how young you are. And then you called yourself a boomer. You're so much younger than
I
me.
never said I was a boomer. You said you were a boomer. Don't try to project on me.
No, I thought you said you were a boomer too, with like regards to YouTube. Didn't you say that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
You're
That was all me. You're right. Oh my God.
And I'm the one drinking. So
you are? What are you drinking?
I made a tequila sunrise.
Sweet. That's
my
awesome.
drink of choice.
I was drinking.
I went and picked up. I've lived in this house for a month. This is the first time I went and bought liquor for this house. And I went and picked up a bottle of Patron.
Nice. Boomers are like 70. I feel 70. Does that count?
I feel that too. I slept wrong and I can't move my neck right anymore.
Oh, that sucks. I hate when that happens. Real quick, Wolfsbane for $2 says, so Kara got it. Still gonna forget. Oh
it's
my
okay.
God. You sent this super chat twice, Wolfsbane. You need to ask Mama Susan for your $2 back. Thank you. Spike and Madness says Nina's trying to throw Kara into the wall. That's not true.
You are. That's exactly what you're doing. Trying to gaslight me and everything.
Oh my God. Demogenai, help me. Kara, do you know Demogenai?
I don't think I do. Hello.
He's awesome. He's a great content creator. You should check him out.
I have heard of so many awesome content creators throughout the last like month of all this going on. Like I heard about like Ryan Kennel, and I started watching Nerdrotic, and then of course I met Eric July, and like I was going through like my DMs and stuff, and I don't watch political content. I don't interact with political content, but my husband does. So I'll be going through my DMs. He's like, I know who this is. I know who that is. I know who that is. All these people are DMing you. Like, this is so cool. I'm like, I don't know who these people are.
Oh my God. Your story is a little bit similar to mine in the sense that I didn't know who any of the content creators were either when I first started, but my husband knew all of them. And he's the one that introduced me to like so many of the content creators. He's like, you got to follow this guy and this guy, and you should go here. And I was like, okay. And now you're in a good place, Kara. You've somehow stumbled into a really, really fun part of the internet.
I am very fortunate with some of the people that I have met. Like, I have met some awesome people. Like Brett Cooper reached out to me. And so like
that's cool.
Her and I have been texting back and forth a little bit. And so I've gotten to like, and Brett was actually one of the only conservative people that I'd ever seen, because her shorts would just randomly show up on my YouTube. Like that was the only person I had heard of, was
That's
a
interesting.
Brett Cooper.
Wow, she's kind of involved in her own little drama right now with the that whole thing with Steven Crowder and
Yeah, I
the
saw
Daily
that
Wire.
that all went down right after my thing too. And I was texting her because it all went down the week I let out my statement, because her and I were planning to do something, and then the whole thing with Crowder went down. I'm like, you're good. Like, you have other things to worry about right now. I will hang out, and I
Kara,
will just watch the world burn alongside you.
it's been kind of nuts. Like, since this stuff that happened with you, it's been like, oh my God, like the whole thing happened with Crowder, and then the whole Eliza Blue stuff. And then like, I just feel like it's like something in the air or something. And then like
Then you saw Tim and the Quartering going at each other, and then they just made up like a few days ago.
Like all of the drama that's been like just super insane. And then there's like side dramas that I don't even want to talk about that I know about. And I'm like,
I know. I think I know what you're talking about too.
like, why is this all happening? Like, I don't know. Like, what is in the air? And then all of a sudden, so like the funniest thing is I was like, I'm just gonna go into Hogwarts Legacy and I'm just gonna play the game. I'm gonna stay off Twitter and stay away from the drama. And I do that. And then everyone's like, oh my God, the UFOs are here. And I was like,
like, what the hell is going on in 22? Last year we lost Betty White. Now we have UFOs. Like,
I was like, what? Like the one day, because I'm kind of like a little bit of a conspiracy crazy person, Kara. You'll get to know me as time goes on.
I
I'm
agree
sure.
in supernatural shit.
Dude.
Just from experience.
Oh. Okay, now this show is gonna take a turn.
I've had 2 experiences.
Okay. Do you want to share?
Sure.
Please take it away.
So my grandparents, I'm from Oklahoma, and my grandparents had this house that was, I think it's like almost like 150 years old, almost 200 years old now.
Ooh.
And it was built by the first sheriff of Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And
sounds like a racist.
Probably. But I know I would always hear, like, after my grandparents died, my parents took custody of the house. And I was upstairs cleaning, and I could hear, it sounded like there was a full-on conversation going on downstairs of like people talking and people.
Was the TV on?
No, there's no TV. All the doors were shut. Everything was closed off. And my mom was upstairs further. And so there's like 4 different floors to this house. Like, it was a huge house. Like, there's a basement, really creepy basement, by the way, really creepy basement. And then you've got the living room, or the first floor that has, so if you want to know what the house looks like, there's a movie called The Killer Inside Me that has Casey Affleck in it, Kate Hudson, Jessica Alba, Simon Baker. They all filmed. There's this movie. It was in 2009. And so that was whenever we had custody of the house. They rented the house from us to do this movie. And
so the movie was like shot inside the house?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna watch that movie tonight,
it is
girl.
A fucked up movie, though. I will tell you that right now. Like, it is a really messed up movie. Like, there's even articles going around, like some of the top 10 movies that like people couldn't get through.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not watching this movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's just Casey Affleck beats a lot of women in it.
Oh, that's
so
gross.
It was really kind of tough to watch.
I don't like
there was a sex scene in the room that I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! In growing up. So I was just
oh my God.
Hey!
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm trying to find, hold on. You know what? I'm going to look up the trailer of this movie on YouTube so that we can see this house.
Okay. What's the movie? It's called The Killer Inside Me. It's got Casey Affleck, Kate Hudson. I met Kate Hudson. She's kind of a diva. Casey Affleck always had his shirt off.
Really?
Yes.
Was he hot?
He was okay. I mean, it was 100 degrees weather in the summer.
That makes
So
sense.
I kind of
That makes
can't blame
sense.
him.
I mean, I can't blame him either. Okay, let's see. I got the trailer. I'm gonna like go through like a little bit of it just to
Go
see
for
if we
it.
see the house.
You'll see it at the very end. Like there's multiple scenes like
That
like
oh,
that
there's the house.
that room was the guest room, and I used to like the way he's looking in that back
Oh, there's that
corner.
sex scene.
Yeah, there was a TV off to the side, and that's where there's a bed and TV in there, and I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh after school.
Oh, nice. There's Jessica Alba. Like,
She plays a prostitute in the movie.
oh well, okay. A lot of prostitute-y looking scenes.
Yeah, it is a rough movie.
But you watched it because you were like, it was filmed in my house. Well,
Mhm.
kind of. Oh,
I mean,
there's a good.
That's not in the house. That's at a different house.
Oh no!
But you see the house in the very last scene of the trailer. Oh, go back a little bit, right there. Right there.
Okay, let me play this. There it is.
Like I was there for the day that they shot that.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Okay, so you heard voices,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happened?
I went and found my mom, and my mom heard the same thing. It wasn't just me.
Wait, how old were you?
I would have been 17 at that time.
Okay, so it wasn't even like you were like a little kid or something like
Mm-mm.
that, and you're like just hearing things.
And my most
Ooh.
recent experience was less than a year ago. And
Less than a year ago. Okay,
yeah,
tell
it was
me
here in
about
North
this.
Carolina. My husband and I were looking for houses to try and move closer so we could be closer to Apex for where LRG was at. And there was this town that we were looking at a house in. The house was 120 years old, massive house. And we had our realtor with us, and we were going through the house, and we go through the kitchen, like really nice, like redone kitchen. Everything is brand new, nice and industrial. And then we make a loop through there, and then we go downstairs into this basement. And I made a joke to the realtor. I was like, man, this would make a great murder basement. Like there's a place for a drain. You could put a tub over here. You could put some hooks up, like just joking with this guy.
Mhm.
And we go back upstairs, and we're standing in the hallway, and all of a sudden you hear this click, and we look, and the gas on the stove, the flame was coming up, like the knob was completely turned on this gas stove, and the fire was on. And we had
What?
just gone through that room and know that it wasn't on.
And nobody else was there?
Nobody else was there. It was just me, my husband, and the realtor. And we all look at each other, and we're just like, that just happened.
That happened.
That happened.
Oh no. Okay, well, hold on. Let me ask you another question about the previous experience.
Mm-hmm.
You said you heard conversations. Could you make out what the conversations were?
It was like muffled voices.
It was just, yeah, it was like a little.
But we
okay.
are not the only ones who experienced that, because the film crew was there,
Mhm.
and they went and rented another building next door to it because they refused to go to the third floor of the house.
Why?
They kept on saying that they had experienced something, and they absolutely refused to go to the third floor of the house.
Dude, that's crazy stuff.
And we had never told them about any of the experiences that we had had. Because like my dad like grew up in the house, and he had experienced things in the past.
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
He had heard or seen things too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, see, that's like the craziest shit about like the old school houses, like those 100-year-old houses. I mean, obviously you've had people die in there, but it's like you know, you don't know what kind of death, and usually like that's the thing that sticks, is usually like those
Uh-huh.
violent or like the crazy, you know, the crazy stuff that happens. Ooh, that's you're giving me like the chills. Like,
I
ooh.
had a creepy experience in this house the week we moved in, but I was able to figure out that it was not, in fact, a ghost. But I was downstairs in the kitchen unpacking, and all of a sudden I hear a child's laugh coming from upstairs,
Oh
which is
hell
where I
no.
am now. I was home alone, and I dropped what I was holding, and I called my husband immediately because he wasn't home, and I was like, "We're burning down the fucking house.
Oh
We are
no.
burning down this house." Like, I just heard a child's laugh,
Oh
and
god.
I did the stupid white girl thing, and I went and inspected it,
You went and checked
and
it
I
out?
got it
Oh
on
my
video. I
God.
have it on video of what happened. Like, I don't know if you are like, I think I bookmarked it. Hold on.
Oh my
If
god.
you are
Pull it up.
interested in seeing it,
Yeah, pull it up. Hell yeah.
here
Hell
I
yeah.
will
I'm gonna read this super chat while you're trying to pull that up. Chris B,
just
thank
DM
you.
you the link. I
Yeah.
DM
Okay.
DM'd you the link in
Okay,
private chat.
perfect. I'm gonna pull that up in just a second. Crispy for $4.99. Thank you. Says Kara, best characters from Harry Potter books, and why is it Fred and George?
Oh, don't break my heart like that. Like, they are, but you're gonna break my heart making me think about them and the freaking devastation that they had to go through.
Oh, poor
But
them.
yeah, but they were fantastic.
Who is your favorite character?
Ooh. Probably. I think it's really weird that I like Bellatrix.
Ooh, that's an interesting answer. I never expected that.
I like Bellatrix just because she's just pure chaos.
She's kind of evil.
She is just pure chaos and just doesn't care.
Wow. I didn't expect that answer. I mean, I think for me, for the longest time I hated Snape because I was like, man, this guy's such a piece of shit.
And then you hear a story
And then I was like,
and you're like, all right, I love you now.
I love you, Snape. Like it was so okay.
The redemption.
It's the perfect redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like you like the movies too, right?
Mhm.
I like it was so crazy because like there's so many people that were like shipping like Hermione with like Harry and stuff like that. I like who he ended up with. Like I thought
Except Ginny had no personality.
I know she kind of didn't, but like
I would have rathered with Cho.
Agreed. But like Ron and Hermione kind of like I like them together though. I thought
Yeah.
that they were
They complement each other very well.
yeah. Man, Snape, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Wolfsbane, thank you for the $5. Says, I thought I retracted the first one as it had a typo. Also, I looked into JK's actual tweets. I didn't find a T phobic, more like pro woman LGB. Yeah.
You saw the latest article that's going around right now. That's going around today, right?
Which
what
one?
we are supposed to be called egg bearing instead now.
Oh my God. Are we? I didn't see
Yep.
that. I didn't see that.
To get rid of binary names, we are supposed to be called egg bearing now.
Please don't call me egg bearing.
No.
Like
I saw a comment like somebody said that's
No.
what I call my chickens. Like
fuck. That's what what's her name? Bette Midler. They tried to cancel her because she came out and said, like, don't call me an egg bearer and don't call women menstruating people.
No. I am a woman.
Yeah. Like what
Stop
like,
trying to take my identity away from me because you don't agree with it.
the term woman is not offensive, people.
It's
like
not at all.
It's not a slur. Like you can use the term woman. Okay, let me pull up this insane thing that you just sent me. Okay, we're gonna watch this.
You need to make sure it's turned up because
Okay.
you will hear it.
Okay, hold on.
This is Gus.
Hi, Gus. Is that your puppy?
Yes.
Oh, he's so cute. Okay, this is up all the way. Okay, here we go.
What's making this?
What the fuck? Was it that weird laughter?
Yep.
Wait.
Making this.
No. Hell no. Hell no. Oh my god. Okay, one more time.
What's making this?
Does your dog ever react to the stuff like that?
He is old and just stares off into the distance anyway. He's old
Aw.
and senile. He's like 13 years old, we think. So you
Retro
never know
gamer.
with him.
Retro gamer said maybe it was just telling you its pronouns. That is so creepy. I feel like we're leaving. I'm not staying here.
I was ready to burn down the house.
Dude, was that like, dude, because it sounded like fucking Chucky. Like I was like, oh my God, this is like some sort of murdering doll. Wait. Okay, we're supposed to be called egg bearers now. I'm pulling this up. Wait, hold on.
I saw it was hold on, I saw somebody I follow post about it today.
What?
It was
I'm trying to put egg bearers in like in Google, and it like auto corrected it to egg beaters.
The post is in the Telegraph.
Okay.
I will post. This is the tweet that I saw.
Okay, let me see this.
Yeah, right, guys. That's creepy, isn't it? It wasn't just me.
That's freaky, man.
And that just it kept on happening like every few minutes.
And that's the house you're in now?
Yes.
You need to move.
We figured it out. But do you want to know what it actually was?
Yes. Wait, there's an end to the story?
There's an end to
ahead.
the story. It was not, in fact, a ghost child.
Oh my God, what was it?
So, in the bathroom, you've got the toilet tank. There was a plunger that kept on getting stuck. And it just kept on going back and forth. And that every time it would basically drain all the way down, it would basically get stuck and make that noise.
Oh
and then it would fill back up and then it'd do it again.
Why the hell did it sound like a laughing child?
I don't know, but it made me want to sell the house.
I think it still was a ghost. Just to be safe, I think you should sell the house. I'm just joking.
I mean,
oh no. Okay, let me pull up this thing because apparently we're egg bearers now.
Yeah.
Use egg producing, not female, say scientists, and call to phase out binary language. How about fuck no? Like what?
How about no?
Experts say other terms that could be problematic include man. Well, at least they include men in this one. Women, mother, and father, as well as survival of the fittest. That's funny. They don't like the survival of the fittest thing because, they're the ones that don't survive because they're not fit. Oh, no.
Yeah, so I saw that today. I was reading that right before we jumped on our call. I was like,
oh
really?
My God, this is so stupid.
This is what they're coming to. Everybody is just so offended by a word, not even a slur. I can understand a slur that is meant in a derogatory manner. That I can understand. But man and woman, mother and father? Absolutely not. Like, I will be continuing to use those words. I don't care.
Same here. I mean, like, what are men supposed to be called? Putin's cat says they should be called sperm bearing. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you do bear sperms. But what the hell? This is so stupid. Like, and you know what? Like, this whole war on both masculinity and femininity is just like it's gotten to like clown level stuff.
You
like
can't tell if it's satire or not anymore.
I really
because
couldn't.
it's so off the wall bonkers.
Mhm.
Like, the things people are calling offensive is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, it's the craziest thing because I also like today posted this thing, which I was like, I like Nebula. Like, I like Nebula and Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if you've
I
seen
saw
that
about
movie or
that,
not.
yeah.
And I was like, what the hell happened to her? Like, because they made her into
More
a man.
masculine. Yeah.
I was
saw
like,
that.
well, and I like, to be fair, this is just a poster,
Mhm.
but it's not like, I mean, this is ridiculous because her old poster was like this. And there's a lot of people in the comments being like, oh, she's just wearing a shirt. And that's why she looks like that. And I'm like, her hips are gone. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, forget the boobs because she could be like, flat chested, which she is, like Karen Gillian. She's like, she's not the fullest woman on the top. I can understand that. But she's no man either. This is a man right here. This is not a woman. Like, you can clearly tell that they photoshopped her face onto a dude's body because that, like, her actual like figure is gone. Like, her hips are gone. And I
Mhm.
can't believe that people are actually making the argument that they put her in a shirt and therefore that means that she's still this is still a woman's body. I'm like, are you blind? Like, I cannot understand.
It makes
how
me
people
want to
think
go
that.
back and watch the trailer to see if that's actually how she like looks outside of just that poster.
Well, and we can do that. But the thing is, I even, because I went through the trailer and the trailer itself, it's still like I don't like their new outfits. And I'm really hoping that the new outfits are like just for a moment, like, as part of their kind of like uniforms or whatever, like their new uniforms. Because in the older like Guardians, they all had personalities, and now they're all like flush. Like, and honestly, the new costumes look awful. Like, Marvel has just completely lost it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna check this out
I'm gonna tell you something.
because Disney doesn't claim
Star-Lord.
these.
I
Okay,
formed
see,
the
okay, this is like
She
their
has a little bit in that. You can see that she still has some curves in that.
yeah. But even then, like, she'll come closer. You can tell. It's just like even Star-Lord's costume, like this. I'm just not feeling
not
this
flattering.
ensemble. No, on any of them.
Met a girl, fell in love.
This is
That girl died.
this is going to be the last movie that gets my money from Marvel, unless they come out with like a miracle Spider-Man movie again. But other than that, like this is it. This is it.
But then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please. He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
Okay, hold on. Let me fast forward this part.
It's
It's got the musics.
things perfect.
Oh,
He
Rocket.
just hated things the way.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to the part where they show the
We were always certain to each other.
where they show the outfits again.
Into the forever.
Okay, see, hold on.
Forever.
Okay, let's look at mantises. Like, see how even mantises is like really unflattering?
Mm-hmm. Like you can still see Nebula's hips in that though. You can still see
Yeah,
her waist. There is
exactly.
definition there.
Exactly.
That's why I think just that poster alone was unflattering.
It was a terrible poster.
It was.
And I don't know, like even what's his name? Even Star-Lord that like doesn't have his own body on the poster. And I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of that happening because like and some people think it's like a conspiracy theory, but I feel like it's not. Like I feel like they're really trying to um like erase femininity and masculinity because that's
Mhm.
how you control people. Like you know, it's easier to control people when you don't have an identity, right?
Mhm.
Wolfsbane, thank you for the $5. Says I watched a stream showing that one of the writers really loved Hermione to the point where he took book lines from Ron and Harry and gave them to her. Oh, that's sweet. That's so sweet. It's a good love story. There was also another person that kind of almost got canceled over Hogwarts Legacy. And I want to talk about this too, because this was in the news recently. One of the voice actors was called out and was forced to apologize and toe the line. Uh, Heartstopper star Sebastian Croft apologizes amid Hogwarts Legacy game casting backlash. I was cast in this project over 3 years ago, back when all Harry Potter was to me was the magical world I grew up with. This was long before I was aware of J.K. Rowling's views. This is such a bullshit thing to say
Mhm. You
because
shouldn't have to apologize over work.
over work and over loving something. Like
Yeah.
it's like this hasn't changed. The property is still the same thing that you loved when you were a kid.
Mhm.
This is not changed. Only your view has changed. What's going on, Comics Division? How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Have you met Comics Division, Kara?
I have not.
Comics Division is freaking
Hello.
awesome. Another great content creator that you have to check out.
To everybody I haven't met yet, hello. I hope to meet you outside of this.
Well, now you're in the alt-right pipeline,
Oh God.
right along me and Comics Division and people like Carrie Smith and Chrissy Mayer. You know us now, so just get ready to have articles written about you as the alt-right person that you clearly are. I mean, just hang out with us. So
I'm
you
just
must
so
be.
controversial. I go out of my way to be controversial.
But back to this. So this is saying this is not the heart-stopping content that Heartstopper fans were looking forward to in 2023. Sebastian Croft, who stars as Ben in the beloved LGBTQ plus teen series on Netflix, made waves online last week when it was revealed that he had been cast as the voice of the playable character in the upcoming Harry Potter video game Hogwarts Legacy. The announcement quickly came under heavy fire from fans of the show who expressed their dismay at his involvement in the game, given author J.K. Rowling's history of controversial remarks, which many have deemed transphobic. Croft took a moment to personally apologize and shed light on his decision to join the game's cast on Saturday. Here's his tweet saying, I was cast in the project over 3 years ago, back when Harry Potter was to me was a magical world I grew up with. When all Harry Potter was to me a magical. Am I reading this right? This is just not grammatically correct. Was a magical grow up with. He wrote on Twitter, this was long before I was aware of J.K. Rowling's tweets. I believe wholeheartedly that trans women are women and trans men are men. He had to make that really clear for everyone in the back to make sure he knows he's still part of the team. He goes on to say, Croft continued, I know far more now than I did 3 years ago, and I hope to learn far more in the next 3. Well, I mean, that's just life. You just learn as you go along.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to anyone hurt by this announcement. Who's hurt?
Nobody.
Who's hurt? Like who are you hurting by voicing a animated character? Nobody, man.
Nobody.
There's
Now, if he was to like come out and be like, I'm gonna punch this person in the face, then yes,
yeah.
they should apologize.
Yes.
But by being involved in a game and by having work, you should not apologize for that.
No,
There's
I don't think you should.
Absolutely not.
I mean, if he didn't toe the line, though, Kara, I think they would have canceled him. He would have probably had his
trying to
Netflix
come
show
after
taken.
Simon Pegg too, right?
Oh, that's right. But Simon's a huge, like, toe the line guy. I'm actually really surprised he even did this to begin with, because he's like
because
totally...
he plays the headmaster, I think.
I didn't know they were coming after him, though. What happened?
Yeah, they tried to come after him too. Let me see if I can find it.
This guy went on to say there is no LGB without the T. I don't know, man. Some of the L's and the G's are kind of trying to X-nay the T's. Like, they're starting to kind of have regrets for inviting the T's over for a tea party. They're like,
it's ridiculous.
It kind of like reminds me of that Chappelle joke about how it's like driving a car.
Oh yes, I love Chappelle. I absolutely love Chappelle so much because he does not care. He will poke at everybody. He doesn't care at all.
Yeah, zero.
Absolutely. Everybody is equal to him.
I mean, Kara, you just recanceled yourself, girl. You just came out as a Chappelle fan. Oh no. Oh no. Freaking no.
It's okay. I posted this clip of me levitating a cow in Harry Potter.
That.
And they're like, oh, beware, PETA's gonna come after you. I'm like, I just had a gif of me sipping a drink and just like, oh no.
Oh, it's like that Jeremy, I forget what the guy's name is from Top Gear. It's like, oh no. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm reading chat, by the way, guys. Like, I've seen a few. Keely, feel free to DM me. By the way, if you guys like have people you want to introduce me to, like, just shoot me a DM. I don't care. I have nothing but time right now.
Oh, I have a lot of people for you to meet, including, obviously, I've already told you, Demogeny, who's welcoming you to the alt-right. We got to introduce you to the Carrie Smith. We got to introduce you to a lot of people. You got to go on Simpcast. You have to, because clearly you had an invitation before the shit hit the fan with Eliza Blue.
Yeah.
So you got to go on.
I want to wait until that blows over, because I
girl,
don't
you're
care
gonna be waiting a while.
I know. I just don't care enough about the whole Eliza Blue thing to be on a 4-hour-long podcast about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to meet Literature Devil, but yeah, people of the Friday Night Tights crew. I mean, yeah, like obviously Gary, everybody, Ryan Cannell, Jeremy, which, they hang out with Comics Divisions on Friday Night Tights.
Oh, okay.
Wolfsbane for $5 says it wasn't sweet. He diminished Ron's development and personality from the books to prop her up and cut her more bitchy attitude in the books. Mary suing her. Oh, see, this is why I didn't read the books. Because I was like, I don't want you to ruin the movies for me. This is why. The clear reason.
I have a channel, TNN. I just haven't put anything on it yet.
It's gonna have to happen.
I will eventually. We'll see.
All in good time.
I don't have access to Adobe anymore, so I have to learn how to use DaVinci. So oh gosh.
See, the comics saying the books. I know the
The
books were better.
so good.
That's
I can
why I
still
didn't read 'em.
vividly remember the Dumbledore moment. I was babysitting, and the two boys I was babysitting were already in bed. I was laying there on the couch reading the book, and I threw the book.
Oh,
Like, I still vividly remember that moment.
you know what's crazy is I actually really want to read the books now more than ever because I want to just buy them because everybody's telling me I shouldn't. So I'm like,
I went to go try and watch them
That's
because
why
they
I do
were
it.
all just on HBO like a month, like less than a month ago. And
Mhm.
then the week before the game came out, they actually like removed all the Harry Potter movies except like the Fantastic Beasts one. And so
Really? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
and I really want to watch them again, but the whole set of them for like Blu-ray is like $100 right now, and it's
Damn.
ridiculous. And I was like, I can't justify that right now.
Fantastic Beasts sucks. Like what? Why do they have that one
Yeah.
on? Oh, I hate that movie. Chris B, thanks for the 5, says these lunatics are trying to force gender redefinitions into science and research, where being opaque and opaque with male female biology has a tangibly harmful impact. You're so right, Chris. You're so right. It's crazy. This is the new kind of like I don't know. I don't know how I don't know what you want to call it, like mind games that they're playing with people in order, like I said, it's in order to control more people, especially the younger generation, right? They have
Mhm.
so many questions. They're probably so confused. So many of them are just like don't understand. I was reading a very tragic statistic actually, like how female female suicide rates have gone up.
Mhm.
And I
Because you're villainized just for believing in biology.
yeah.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah. And you have these, like, in society, you're told that, like, men can be women now and women can be men and all this stuff. And all these kids are just so confused
They're
and they don't
so confused.
understand. I mean, I'm confused, let alone like
Mhm.
all the kids. I'm like, I don't understand what the hell's going on. And like these kids are trying to discover themselves or being told, hey, you might be a dude. Like,
And then you have these therapists who are so quick to sign off
mm-hmm.
because they have the in with particular places.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm sure you saw the whole article about the whistleblower from last week about the clinic.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was rough to read. That was
Mhm.
really, really rough
I
to
didn't
read.
read it because I was like, I don't think I can go through that right now.
It is. It was tough. It was because, I mean, they have documentation of like these parents that are like really pushing it. And basically, it's basically Munchausen's by proxy, but you can't call it that now anymore.
It's
And
crazy because they kind of did this with veganism too. Like a few years ago,
mhm,
it was like a hardcore push for veganism. And all these like really young moms started to like put their babies on the vegan diet to a point where like, kids started having major setbacks, like developmental setbacks.
look at Robert Downey Jr.
Wow. Yeah, dude.
He went on the vegan diet and his health severely declined.
He looks like shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened to Robert Downey Jr.? And then somebody was like, he's vegan now. And I was like, I can't believe that's Robert Downey
Now,
Jr.
if that is like diet wise, if it is beneficial to you diet wise, I can completely understand it. But if you're doing it for a fad, it's not safe.
Well, and not
Like
just that though, like
me, I'm allergic to so many things. So I have to be like aware of what I'm eating. And sometimes I can't always eat what I want. I have to kind of lean towards some certain things.
mhm.
But I still it's a little cult in its own.
It is. And I'm telling you, man, I witnessed it firsthand. There's Robert Downey Jr. Like this is one of his latest pictures. He looks like shit.
He's just so skinny. He doesn't have any muscle to him anymore.
He looks awful. Like he looks like he's on death's bed. I'm like, dude, eat some food. This guy used to be Iron Man.
He used to be buff. Did you see the video or the interview of Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth?
Mhm.
And whenever they're just like, "Oh, whose muscle is this?" They're like, is that mine?" They're like, "No, this is RDJ's." They're like, "What?"
It's crazy. It's crazy what's happened to so many of these people. I witnessed it firsthand, Kara. Like there was this because I went to mommy and me class with my sister-in-law who had just given birth, and she we had like I got into it. This was in LA. Obviously, it's in LA. We go to the mommy and me class. I'm trying to like not give certain details away,
You're fine.
but like there was this couple, there was this mom. God, she was the nicest lady too. You know, like a lot of these vegan people, they're just so altruistic. They think they're saving the earth or whatever by doing this to them, but they're actually like bringing themselves harm. And she was like not feeding her baby milk or cheese or anything like that. And this was a newborn, like because we were kind of like she was one. She wasn't a newborn. She was one. And so as we're going to this class, I see my nephew and the other babies just thriving. And my nephew was on like hardcore milk, like 3%, you know, after she stopped breastfeeding, she put him on like the 3%, like massive fat milk, right? And she was like, you know, this big bone little dude just running around, just like super good health. And this other baby could barely crawl. Like she could barely fucking move. And my nephew's running around all over the place, like almost like kicking her and blah, 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 because she's, you know, he's like a rambunctious kid. He's talking already. She's barely talking, barely moving, barely crawling. And so she comes up to like, you know, she starts crying one day in the middle of like the mommy and me class. She starts talking to the teacher and being like, why is my baby not doing what all the other babies are doing? And the teacher kind of was like, we need to talk after class. And like I overheard after the class, you know, her telling her like, you need to put your baby on milk and cheese. Like you need to
They need these fats.
They need it. They need it. Like she's like, I understand that you have your own personal views, but you're harming your baby. Like, and if you really care, like I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Obviously, this is a personal choice, but the reason that you're seeing what you're seeing is because your baby's not on an unhealthy diet. And you could tell that the lady was trying to like not get sued. Like, you know what I mean? Like she was trying to be really careful with her words, but like basically like not in so many words. She was like, get some fucking milk into your kid now. You know what I mean? And she was so annoyed. George, the Giant Slayer, just sent $20 super sticker saying you are amazing to us. And guess what, Kara? Guess what? George is another content creator that you're gonna have to meet.
Oh, snap. Hello.
So make sure you check out his channel, George the Giant Slayer. He's a pretty awesome dude.
I need to just start making a list.
You got to start writing down all these names. I'm telling you.
I do.
Right now.
I'm gonna forget if I don't.
Well, you have this live stream that you can come back to. You can be like, okay,
I
can.
do.
Yes, this will be on replay unless we get canceled. Unless I get canceled. The next couple of days. Steven sending up a thumbs up. Thank you, Steve. 89. And also reminding everybody to smash the thumbs up button. Thank you very much. Dude, you know what's the craziest thing? It happened today on Twitter, and everybody's talking about this happening now. I didn't realize that, like, I just posted it because I was just like, hey, like, what the F? But I got this like really weird warning from Twitter, like, you've been locked out of your account.
I saw you post about that. That happened to me last week, but it was like really quick. It was like basically I just had to go in, verify something, and then I was good.
Same here, but apparently it happened to like everybody today. Like it happened to Frank, which is Chrissy's husband. It happened to DeFango. Let's just say it happened to a lot of people that were in the Eliza Blue threads, going on. So that it was just a weird quinky dink. I was just like, well, I don't. This is kind of
Yeah, I
weird.
saw
But
you post about it because I dealt with that last week because I was on my phone. I was like, hold on a second. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I locked out of my Twitter for like a split second?
Yeah, it was really weird. It never happened to me before. By the way, guys, I also suggest you check out because we kind of went over the article not very well because I'm an ADD weirdo. But this guy, Troy, he does have a YouTube channel. And since they've called him an alt-right pipeline guy, I suggest you go over to his channel and give him a sub because I think he's kind of like, one of us. Like he's got a pretty decent YouTube channel. He talks about certain things and they're calling him like, anti-feminist and, freaking weirdo SJWs like are attacking him. So, and he did work on the game Hogwarts Legacy. So he has some really interesting things to say about the game and his experience working there. So there's one of his other videos in defense of John Lasseter that he says like he got attacked for. And he's done the Ben Shapiro thing. So people are like, "Hey, you're so like alt-right and anti-female."
If you mention anybody in the conservative space, you're automatically dubbed that.
Yep.
You can't
It's
even
true.
mention them.
It's so true. A lot of people think I'm super conservative, and well, like it's funny because they call me Republican, and I'm like, I don't live in the States. Like I can't even vote. I'm Canadian and I live in Mexico, and I'm not a Republican. And I sure as hell like you can make an argument that I'm conservative because I do have conservative values.
Yeah.
But like I came up from as liberals gonna get. Like I was a hardcore SJW, grew up in Vancouver, SJW hippie, went up went to the protest against the war, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But as you grow and you learn and you change and you become a different person, you
Yeah.
realize
Certain values stick with you and some don't.
yeah. And now
And
everyone's like, you're
that's
Trump
really
loving righty.
important. Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It's exhausting. I can't keep up with it.
I know.
I can't keep up with what I'm supposed to be mad about.
I know. It's like every day we have to be mad at something, and if we're not, we're getting canceled for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what happened with freaking Hogwarts Legacy. Everyone was like, we have to cancel this game. And I'm like, why?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, like did they do something bad? Like I was actually curious. Like I was like, okay, why? And then it was like, because it's JK Rowling. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna play it then.
Whenever they went and made this the most inclusive game that Harry Potter has ever had.
Oh my God, dude, there is so much inclusivity in this game that I'm like, what happened? Like,
there's so much diversity in it.
Like a little too much diversity. Because I
don't know. I mean, I think that's really appealing to a lot of people.
Well, of course it's appealing to a lot of people because, well, like now that's the trend.
You got to check the boxes.
Exactly. But I'm saying in the 2000s, we had the Harry Potter movies and there wasn't that much diversity in Hogwarts. I just feel like the diversity is a little bit overblown. I feel like they tried to what's the word I'm looking for? Overcompensate because they knew that they were going to get this like anti-trans hate. Mm-hmm. So they were like, let's go like overt with the representation. And maybe we'll be okay.
I can see it, but at the same time, I don't feel like it. Like somebody just said in chat, like it doesn't feel like it's in your face, kind of thing.
No, it doesn't.
I don't feel like that it is at all.
No, I still think it's a little bit funny though because it's supposed to be like in the past. It's like the 1900s.
It's 100 years before the books.
Yeah, so I'm like, it just feels like it's a little bit for the time. There's a little bit of too much diversity, but hey, whatever. Maybe that's just me. Okay, let's see. What else did we have to talk about? Our other favorite show.
Oh,
because
Dark
there's
Materials.
Yes. So there's another series that I noticed that you like, and I was like, oh my God, she likes his dark materials. And I got super excited because I haven't actually met anyone in this space that's a huge fan like I am.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like that's kind of like one of the IPs that's gone under the radar for a lot of people. And I love
Oh my
the
gosh.
books.
Yes, the books. Yes. I wish I still had my copies of them. I gave them to my little sister growing up. But it was one of those, like, his Dark Materials and the Uglies series were the 2 series that I read growing up that really stuck with me.
Oh, I didn't read the other ones. The Ugly series?
Oh,
I'm not
Uglies is
familiar.
by Scott Westerfeld.
Oh, okay.
And it's another that's kind of like, it was one of those, it's kind of like in the future where whenever you turn a certain age, basically you're given this surgery to become pretty.
Hmm.
And like there's this whole government uprise because they find out that they're brainwashing these people
Mhm.
whenever they're giving them this pretty surgery.
Oh,
And there's this,
sounds really good.
it is so good.
Okay, that's exciting. I'm
It's
gonna
called,
have to get into that.
yeah, Uglies is one of those that like I've been looking for a hard copy of the series for a while now.
Hmm.
And it's one that's really good.
Excellent. I'm gonna
it
look
kinda
into it.
gives me the same like almost like a Hunger Games vibe.
That sounds like it a little bit. That sounds really cool. Is it a finished series? Is it
Yes,
completed?
it's full finish. There's Uglies,
there.
Pretties, specials, and extras. are the
Girl, I'm
4.
there. I'm all about endings, and if there's no endings, I'm like, just leave me out of it. Like, I need an ending. Game of Thrones season 8 kind of ruined me, especially like the books, really, because I was a huge Game of Thrones fan and I read all the books, and I was like, he's gonna come out with the ending in the books.
Nope.
And no, he's never gonna finish those fucking books.
He's
So
never gonna finish those books.
I'm like, as we get to know each other, which we will, Kara, you're gonna be hanging out with me more often.
I'm
I
down.
hope. Definitely.
If we want to talk about writers who don't finish books, let's probably not bring up Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
No?
What did he not finish?
The Name of the Wind.
Never
not-
heard of it.
Oh my god, one of the
I'm not
best.
I'm not a huge fantasy person. I'll say this.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fantasy.
Well,
I'm
I
more of a
will turn
sci-fi
you.
person.
It's okay. I will turn you. I will provide you with the good stuff. Whether it be
Excellent.
Patrick Rothfuss or Brandon Sanderson.
And see, that's one of the reasons, because I'm not a huge fantasy person. I'm more of a sci-fi person. But that's
Okay.
one of the reasons I loved Philip Pullman's his Dark Materials, because
it
it was
has
a
that
mix.
almost like a mix of it. Yeah.
And he introduced the whole idea of multi dimensions and universes and all that kind of stuff, and that really spoke to me at the time when it came out. And I was like all about this. Like, this is so cool, because that's when my name Nina Infinity comes from, is the idea that there's so many of me, because I like quantum theory.
Okay.
So I like the idea of thinking that there's infinite Ninas and infinite realities doing different things, and the different choices and the different things and that leads us to. And so that's why I really, really, really responded to his Dark Materials and the ideas that it represents, with the idea of dust and how dust is like collectively kind of like in every universe, and it trickles through, because it's kind of like in a way it's God, but like the metaphysical sense is like the idea that that's creation kind of thing. Really, really resonated with me. Now, let me ask you this. Have you seen the series?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like it?
I really liked the series.
I did too.
I think they handled it beautifully. I think that they did a really good job with the portrayal of the characters. I will say I really enjoyed the movie that came out, like, what was it, like 10 or so years ago?
The one with Nicole Kidman?
Yes, and Daniel Craig. I really liked Daniel Craig as Lord Asriel.
Me too.
And I really liked Nicole Kidman as the mom,
Mrs. Coulter. Yeah.
but it was really like I had a really hard time adjusting from those actors as those characters that I really, really liked. And then adjusting to the new ones. It took me about a season to really be like, okay, I like them. I like the way that they're handling it.
I was like, I really, really liked the original movie until the ending.
Yes.
I was mad. Like, I was freaking angry.
Now, did you ever play the
ending.
game?
No, I actually didn't play the game.
I played the game on the Wii, and it actually followed the book better than the movie did.
Really? That's crazy. I never played the game. But I hated the fact that they changed the ending of the first story, like the first movie. I was like, why would you Disneyfy this? Because it wasn't even Disney. It was like DreamWorks or something. And I was like, why would you Disneyfy the ending of this movie? Because that's like literally when everything gets good, and the idea that, you know, that death meant a lot, you know. I'm trying to not spoil it for those
you're
of you who
good. You're
haven't
good.
seen
Yeah,
it, you know.
you guys need to watch it. Like it is.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's such a good story. The only thing that was one of the
growth and love and owning up and accepting responsibility and how tough it is to expect responsibility in your fate. And it's
destiny.
It's a child who's going through puberty and maturing and becoming a woman, and it's just so good.
Spike and Manus, we're talking about a series called His Dark Materials, which is also the book's names. It's 3 books: The Golden Compass, The Amber Spyglass, and the Golden Compass, the
Subtle Knife,
and the Amber Spyglass. And they did the series. HBO just finished the last book, which is the 3rd season, and it's really, they did a really good job, and
really did.
It came out at the same time as the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, was dropped on Amazon, and it really kind of just like
it flew under the radar.
It flew under the radar, but also it showed that there is a way to do book material justice and do an actually good job adapting a source of IP. Like, they really freaking nailed it. And one of the things, the only thing in the 3rd season that I was kind of like about was the lack of dragonflies. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling that. Because they made them all techie a little bit more, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. Because the friendship they had in the book with the dragonflies, it was kind of like the demon of, you know, the humans, like the human and demon connection was their connection with their dragonflies, and I think they kind of took that away from that species, and I didn't like that. I was like, ooh,
I can understand that.
It was a little bit of a that was like one of my only complaints, and that's good. Like, that's good to have, like,
that is the only thing. Yeah, because I mean, if you're just like, oh my god, everything about it was perfect, then you probably didn't pay very good attention to the source material.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the source material.
I admit it's been about 15 years since I've read it, but I've really been itching to go back through and watch it.
I went and reread it when the series dropped, because I was like, I need to read this again. And then, of course, there's a sequel now, which I need to read.
I did. I heard about the sequel. I didn't know there's a sequel until that last episode at the end. I was like, wait, what?
Well, there was a prequel and a sequel.
Yes.
So the prequel is like I forget. I actually have the books too, but it's called La Belle something. It's like the name of the boat. Which is basically about her as a baby and like what happens around the time that she was born. And then the next book, which is The Secrets of the Commonwealth, that's supposed to be about her grown up and like the new
and her in college. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Like, it's supposed to be about her interacting with the witches, right?
I think so. Yeah. And like figuring out, like, I don't know. It's like a new thing that happens.
I need to read them. I need to go through and read the original Dark Materials. And
thank you, La Belle Savage.
Yes.
Sauvage.
Like the Johnny Depp cologne.
You know, you can't say the word savage anymore. You
Oh
can
my
get canceled.
God. I'm so
I'm not
tired.
lying.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I'm not
I
even
just-
lying.
I can't keep up with it, Nina.
I know.
I
It's like
can't.
every day there's like a new list of banned words. Mark, thank you for the $5. Says, Nina, sorry, I wasn't yelling at you last time with Gary. I was trying to get help from him. That's all. I apologize and love your record of Lotus War. One of my favorite. Oh, no worries, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about. So don't worry about it. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I love the record Lotus War too. You're good people. No worries, dude. No worries. That was me giving you a fist bump, not punching you in the face. Just clarifying. This is a fist bump.
It's sad that you have to clarify that now.
I know, isn't that like I'm like, okay, wait, what if he's gonna take that as different?
Please
Okay.
don't take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to beat you. I promise.
Armored, dude, I love armored bears. Like, it's so like the idea was so cool, and they talked.
Mhm.
Like I'm like,
Yurik. And then like I really liked Ian McShane's voice as Yurik in the
oh,
movie.
it's so good.
I love. Well, he wasn't Yurik. He was.
Wasn't he?
Hold on. I don't think he was Yurik. I think he was the bad bear.
Oh,
I think he was the bad bear.
I forget the bad bear's name.
Hold on.
Putin's cat. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Ian McKellen was Yurik.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, there was also a little bit of too much. I know you're gonna be like, man, this girl is really all right. But there was also a little bit too much diversity for me in the new seasons. I was just like, oh, there's just certain things. Okay, you know what?
Talking about like the commander?
No.
No?
I
Okay.
love him. I love his character.
I loved him. I was like, Game of Thrones.
No,
I love
he's
him.
great. No, I was talking about the angel, and it wasn't even so much.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it wasn't even so much that it was like his skin color or anything. I didn't like any of them being played by human beings. I know that sounds really weird because in the book they're like described as like luminescent beings, and the series did that like
They did
part
that.
ways. They did. But they
Until-
also didn't.
Yes.
Like, you know? And I'm like, why didn't you just keep it to the luminescence? Like, because they wanted to show the actors. And I'm like,
I didn't know how I felt about their portrayal of the creator. I
yeah.
didn't know how I felt about that.
I was just like, that was just a little like,
either way, I still really enjoyed
still
the
really
way that
liked
they
it too.
handled the story.
Me too. Like, there's no part of that like all my critiques of it is just basically very small things. Like I still,
like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I still think they did an excellent job. And I like, it's one of those stories too that's very classic in a sense of like, you know, boy meets girl and boy fall in love, and
But
like
they
that.
don't realize it.
But they don't realize.
They don't realize it.
But it's also like that's
it's such a friendship that leads to love.
Right. But it's like, it's such a classic thing that is so underappreciated now, and also like never happens anymore because everyone's like, you know, not, you know, boy and girl anymore. Everyone's got to be something else. And you're like, oh, this is a classic story of, you know, girl and boy falling in love. Like there's nothing wrong with this. You know, it still happens, guys. You know what I mean? And like I have to say, Will is actually my favorite character in the book.
I loved Will in it. I
did too.
I really love the way that they portrayed Will in the movie or in the show too.
I did too. I was
really
shocked.
Liked it.
I was shocked because I didn't think I was gonna like him. I was like, "This is Will." You know, at first when you see like the character, that is not what it's not what you
picture. Yeah,
yeah. But then that kid, man, he can act, and like,
God,
he was so good that he like immediately won.
I was in tears in that last episode.
Girl, me too.
Oh my God, I was in tears that last episode. I had such a hard time with that last episode. It was so good.
That one and
it like
one
rips your soul out.
that and the one a few episodes before when they're going on the boat. I can't say more. I'm trying
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like, you know, that scene with Pan. I was like,
Oh,
just
I
freaking.
know.
And then I
Yep.
had like my cat in my arms, and I was like, I love you. I'm never leaving you.
I'll never leave you behind.
I was like, I don't care if somebody else is gone. I'm not going after them without you. Fully realizing that's not my demon, but hey, whatever.
Could be. You never know.
You can never know. You know, I think she is. Oh my God. God, I love that show so much. And you know, one of those things is like, it's also really exciting to talk about something actually good, because
Yes.
that's what I don't do all the time. I talk about bad things all the time.
I think it's
So-
good to compliment a
Mhm.
lot, because there are a lot of good entertainment things that are out there right now, and they're just so basically buried by all the negativity.
Okay.
So I mean, Ted Lasso, next season of Ted Lasso,
girl.
March 15th. Can't wait.
Oh my God, is that when it's coming out?
Yes.
I love Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is so
Ted
good.
Lasso is one of the best shows I have ever watched.
Although I have to say the second season was not as good as
I
the first
hated
season.
Nate.
Yeah,
Nate
was
can go fuck right off. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's
I hate
fine.
Nate.
I really like Ted Lasso. I still think the second season wasn't as good as the first, but it's still like
It's had a
high
lot more
tier.
emotion to it.
Mhm.
It went more into like his depression.
Yeah.
I think that was like, everybody was just so used to happy-go-lucky Ted Lasso in the first season. And so you see this other side of him and how hard like his life is, and how he's really trying to kind of put on a face like everything's happy-go-lucky, like
Mhm.
everything's fine, whenever in reality he's
Mhm.
being torn apart inside, and he's having a really hard time learning how to cope with it.
That's a good point. I still like didn't enjoy it as much as the first one though. I think it's because it was so upbeat. Like the first one was so upbeat that I was like, exactly. But I still think it was great. Is there any other shows that you've enjoyed that like recently that you were like, oh my God, this is not being talked about?
Well, I know Severance got talked about a lot, but I loved Severance.
I loved it too. Such a good show.
Severance. I've been on an anime kick lately, so I've been watching a lot of anime.
Okay, like what?
I just finished Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer.
Ooh, okay.
I'm watching Spy Family, and I just started season 3 of My Hero Academia. So, and then what else? We just watched the first couple episodes of Chainsaw Man tonight before this.
Oh, okay. I've heard really good things about that.
Ooh, Let the Right One In. That show. Oh my God. That one will make you cry. That's my husband, by the way.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Husband, it is past your bedtime. Why are you not asleep?
Oh,
It
I
is
like your shirt, dude. Nice. Your
Yes.
husband and I are going to become good friends. I can already feel it.
Check
Check it out, dude. This thing changes too. Look at it.
Oh, snap.
Ooh, how cool is this? Civil War.
But Let the Right One In is basically this dad, and it's the story of his dad and his daughter. And his daughter is a vampire.
Oh.
And he's trying to find a cure. But he's not letting her hunt. He does it all for her.
This is this is from 2008.
Well, there's a movie. There's an older movie, and then there's a show that just finished up the first season, like last month, I think.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know about this at all.
Oh my God. Like every time you look at the dad, like you just want to like cry, because you can, the emotion that he like just radiates is so, oh my gosh. Like this man needs to win awards.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. There you guys go. Let the Right One In.
It is so good.
What network is it on?
What did we watch that on? I think we watched it on Hulu or Amazon. Honey, what is that
I'm
one on?
sure.
The right one in
Doesn't say here.
Showtime? Showtime.
Okay.
It's on
Okay.
Showtime.
Have you guys seen Tulsa King yet?
I haven't, but I'm from Oklahoma, so
Ooh.
I want to watch it.
Girl, it is great.
That's
It's
got
so good.
Sylvester Stallone in
Yep.
it. Okay.
Yep. It's fantastic. Definitely check that out.
It makes me also want to watch Reservation Dogs because that one's also set in Oklahoma. That one's by Taika Waititi.
Is it Reservoir Dogs or
Reservation Dogs because it's based off of like the Indian reservations. It's a comedy.
Oh, that's interesting. By Taika, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's really
I've been meaning to
interesting.
watch that one. That one's on Hulu, I think.
I didn't even know he did this one. See, Taika Waititi's weird for me because I really dislike what he did to like Marvel and like Thor and like I don't like some of his
loved
stuff.
Ragnarok. I hated Love and Thunder. Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie. I could watch it on replay.
Oh, that's interesting.
I loved Ragnarok. Hated Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder was awful.
It was not for me. Definitely not for me.
Not for me either.
He
I think
wanted every little thing to be a one-liner. Everybody had to be all their little quirks and stuff. Like he was going off the memes so hard in that one.
I cannot stand some of his decisions that he's made for Thor and like the stuff that he's done. But I do like enjoy some of his other stuff. Like I really like Jojo Rabbit. I don't know if you've seen that.
I loved that movie. Oh my gosh, that movie was so good. I did not expect to like that movie as much as I did. I didn't know what to expect going into that. That movie was fantastic.
That was like a weird, I feel like it was like a blip of like what Taika is really capable to do. Yeah. But
he has that in his brain, but he just kind of got swept over to the dark side. And like that, like Jojo Rabbit was proof that he has the capability to make beautiful art.
Agreed.
And to make a comedy and a drama go really hand in hand together.
You make like it's so weird because the subject matter is so crazy that you would think that there's no way of making light of something like this, and he did.
Exactly.
Like he was able to achieve that, and I thought that was really it was very Wes Anderson-esque.
I could see that, yeah. You could definitely see the inspiration of Wes
and
Anderson
I love Wes Anderson, so it was like that. I definitely could see like the esque of it. It's really cool.
I agree with you, Lewis. I hate Zenitsu in Demon Slayer. He cries too damn much.
Oh my god, that's one of the reasons I haven't been able to get into that show. Because it's like constantly like
screams and he cries and it drives me nuts. That's why I can't get through Black Clover either. And I had a hard time with first few seasons of My Hero Academia too, because Zuko Midoriya just kept on crying a whole lot.
I just can't stand like how much they cry. It's like, okay, like I get that the anime trope that you have to have the crying guy in there or whatever, but like it never used to be this much. Like, you know, in old school anime, like it was like nowadays it's just like everything's just so extreme. Yeah, I can't stand that guy either. Like I just can't. I can't do it. That's why I stopped watching the show.
It took me a really long time to get back into the show because of that. Because of Zenitsu, I couldn't stand him.
Mark also, I mean, he's telling us a lot of stuff, but he also suggested Inuyasha, and Inuyasha.
I've watched every single one. I have a whole shelf of Inuyasha stuff, like right over here.
I mean, same as in I love it.
I just pre-ordered. I have all of the pop-up parade statues that they're coming out with. I have all of them pre-ordered. I just pre-ordered the Shippo and Kilala one, Kilala one yesterday that they just announced. So yes, very big Inuyasha fan here.
Me
big
too.
Anime.
Massive Inuyasha.
So are you team Kagome or team Kikyo?
Kikyo.
I agree. I agree.
That's hilarious.
I loved Kikyo. Kikyo, like, ugh, so
She's
good.
so cool.
She
I
was
just loved
really
her.
good, and like she was a very
Such a complicated character.
she was, that's the right word for it. She was very complicated, and you could see that there was like actual love and respect between the two of them. And
Yeah.
Kagome, like Inuyasha kind of just went for Kagome because she looked like Kikyo,
Yeah.
and
But
it
also
felt forced.
it was weird though because I also loved Kagome and
I
it
did,
was so
but
weird
I
because
was Team Kikyo.
I was team Kikyo too, but it was so weird because the way and that's why Rumiko Takahashi is a fucking genius because the story and what it talks about is the idea that her spirit is living inside Kagome.
Mhm.
So it is her at the same time. So it's like you can't be like, "Oh, I don't like Kagome," because you're saying I don't like Kikyo because it's
Yeah,
her.
it is her. It's a reincarnation of her. Like
Mhm.
it's her essence,
Mhm.
but it's
It's her
like
spirit.
it
When
is.
when her spirit left, like it
But
went into
I
Kagome.
liked Kikyo's attitude a little bit more
Me too, because
until she
well,
got
she was
really
hardened.
possessive.
She got hardened, man, and and that's the thing,
Yeah.
Kara, right? Like that's one of the things that teach it, like Inuyasha teaches, is to like not become that hardened, like
Mhm.
crazy kind of
Don't let it consume you
don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume
because
you.
it will personify somehow. And
Yeah,
it will not only affect you, but everybody else around you. So you have to learn to let go and to move on and to enjoy the little things in life.
exactly. And isn't it so crazy that, like, for example, at like sometimes I think about the story of Inuyasha and how closely it is with like even our reality, like the idea
Mhm.
that like Naraku was this like, kind of like this small demon, like, that's how he started.
Yeah.
And it's like he constantly just kind of sucked everything into himself like a void until he became this other entity that is now like I feel like that's what kind of like whatever you want to call it, like the SJWs, whatever that phenomena of like being a part of something, but having that negative part of you that like just out constantly in different
Mhm.
ways and just being like it's like all the demons that he had that was part of him would go out and like do all this crazy shit. That's all the Twitter weirdos doing crazy
I
shit, like I don't
That's
know.
a
It's just
good way to
weird.
think of it. That is
It's
a really
weird.
good parallel to a lot of things that we're dealing with now. Because, like, you see the innocence of Kagome
Hmm.
and of the basically the trials and tribulations that the rest of the group had to go through.
Hmm.
And then you see Inuyasha, who is still a kid. Like
Hmm.
he's still trying to figure himself out. He has his anger issues. He's trying to figure himself out. He doesn't know
Hmm.
how to really accept things, and he's still not over his heartbreak from Kikyo
Mhm,
and losing her and being betrayed by her
mhm.
and not really realizing that the whole thing was a manipulation
Mm.
and trying to cope with that and learning that it was a manipulation the whole time and that she didn't actually betray him.
Right, and, like, let me ask you this, now were you team Inuyasha or team Sesshomaru?
So Shomaru kind of weirded me out with the whole Rin thing, especially with how they had kids.
Oh,
Yeah, have you not watched Yashahime?
I haven't watched that yet.
Okay. You
Is it good? Tell
I've
me it's
enjoyed
good.
it. I've enjoyed Yashahime. I
I
watched the
want to
first
watch it, I
season.
just haven't.
I haven't watched all of it. I watched the first season. I haven't finished it. You like Team Moroku because he's handsy. I can already bet that.
Team
Moroku is a little playa, and
He
Sango keeps his
was.
ass in check.
I was 100% team Sesshomaru girl. I had the
He was
most
the moody.
massive crush on
Yes. Yes.
Sesshomaru.
I am right there with you. I was Team Sesshomaru, especially with how he took Renan. And
Mhm.
he really had that humanizing factor to him about how he was just like, humans are gross, humans are all scum. And then he finds this one girl and he's like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't let anything happen to her anymore. Like she's my ward. I have to protect her.
Yep.
And then you see the whole relationship between Rin and Shishomaru and Rin and Jockin, and it's
Mhm.
just
Such a good little
It
trio. I mean,
is.
they're
but
so
it
good.
was such an unexpectedly good trio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's so many good things about that show. Like, and the more I talk to you about it, the more I'm like, oh, man, I should
I just
rewatch
recently
Inuyasha
rewatched it
again.
all.
Dude, I like literally logged onto Netflix the other day, and like, you know how it gives you like the previews of like whatever at the top of your screen? It was
Mhm.
like Inuyasha. And I was like, shut up,
Yes!
Inuyasha's on Netflix. I was like, start watching the first episode. Like,
Yep.
and I've seen that episode maybe like, I don't know,
100
times.
times.
But
Easy.
like it just comes back, and I was just like, oh, this show's so good. I want to watch more. The John Beck for $5 says, awesome to see you on stream together.
I'm
Thank
glad that you had
you.
me.
Aw,
It's been
dude,
great.
it's
We've
been
been
so
having great nerding
fun.
out.
I know. I love nerding out. And you're awesome.
You're awesome.
Wolfsbane for $2 says Kiki or Kagome, Henry Cavill, Songo. What? No.
I love me some Henry Cavill.
Girl.
Henry Cavill is number 1 on my very laminated list.
Me too. I mean, you, me, Anna, that Star Wars girl, and a lot of other ladies. I tell you that much right
Henry
now.
Cavill, Ryan Reynolds, like, man.
Ryan
Chris Evans.
Ryan Reynolds, you know what's weird is like I never got into Ryan Reynolds too much because he's
Until
from
he got
Vancouver.
older.
No, but it's because he's from Vancouver, and I was like,
Okay.
I just couldn't get into like the whole Ryan Reynolds scene because we're from the same place. So I was just like,
Okay.
I just, it's just
I love his
it's the
humor.
weirdest thing. He is really funny though. He's extremely funny. I love him in that sense as well. But like, physical attraction was like Henry Cavill's like a different level, but also freaking Captain America.
Chris Evans is right. Especially bearded Chris Evans.
Chris Evans was so hot for me until he started opening his mouth on Twitter. I was like,
yeah. I was just talking about his slipped dick pic the other day.
oh yeah, that was a good time.
We were talking about that. We were talking about that yesterday.
America's dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it. That was the things that because he was trending on Twitter. I was like, did he let it out again? I was like, did he accidentally show it again? And no, it was just him posting pictures
accidentally.
Yeah.
We all know that was no accident.
Yeah.
Guys. Kagome, look.
He makes a good point. Kagome was not legal.
That's true.
But in the Edo era, it like is it different?
That doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Like in her own time, yes. But when you go to the Edo era, she was of childbearing.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
She's fine. And they didn't actually do anything for several years. So by the time she ended up actually like doing stuff with him, she was over 18.
Yeah.
So
like they didn't actually do anything until she graduated high school and came back.
Yeah. So she was over 18 by then.
Yeah,
like, and it was like, dude,
we didn't kiss until like the end of the show.
Look. I feel like if you're 15 years old and you're battling demons like Naraku, I mean, like you
deserve to get a little something.
You're gonna get really hardened real fast. So it's like you're gonna mature up real fast. So I feel like I don't know. I'll give the 15 a pass on that one, just this one time.
The girl went through some shit.
I know she really did. Kara, it's been a fantastic night talking to you. Thank you for coming on.
I'm sorry, it's well past midnight now.
Oh, dude, don't be sorry. We usually go for about 2 hours anyway. It went by so fast. I didn't even notice. I was like,
I didn't realize it either.
What? I can't believe it's freaking 2 hours, 13 minutes now. But Kara, before we go, first of all, which is your favorite Harry Potter movie?
Goblet of Fire.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Mine's Prisoner of Azkaban.
I can understand that. That's a good one. That's like my close second.
Ooh, okay. I like the Goblet of Fire too. That's like my second.
We
uh,
compliment each other right nicely.
Jay Schwabach, thanks for the 2212, man. 2 tacos and a beer.
Ooh.
Because I like you guys.
I had tacos for dinner tonight.
Ooh, nice. I can have tacos every night because I live in Mexico.
Shut up.
It's really good.
I hate you for that.
Well,
I
you know
hate
what?
you for that.
Hey, Kara, if you ever come to Cancun, give me a shout.
Definitely.
We're gonna go for some.
We've been meaning to book a little trip sometime.
Well, there you go.
We need a vacation right now.
Now you have incentive to come to Cancun because
Yes.
this place is freaking awesome. And we can go for tacos and margaritas and tequilas. And it's a good time.
Tequila is my vice. Like, tequila is my alcohol of choice.
Oh, is it? It's starting to become mine because I never realized how much I like Don Julio because I was recently introduced to it. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
I just went and bought a bottle of Patron this evening.
Nice. So thank you for coming on. Before we leave, please tell everyone where they can find you once again. And all that good stuff.
Well, you can find me on Twitter, which is you can see that right there. I've been streaming most weekdays from noon to around 4 or 5 on Twitch. It's just Carolyn on Twitch. And I guess now apparently I need to do some YouTube stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
Just stream games.
Yeah,
At least
give
for
it a
now.
shot. Yeah,
at least for now, until you figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
You should.
And yeah, I have a little Etsy shop that I like to make. I really like Genshin Impact, and so I made like little little keychains and stuff.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's
yes, this I forgot about this. R.I.P. She's a queen, Raquel Welch. It sucks, but hey, that's life. I mean, she's lived a long life, and that's how it goes. But it was sad to hear today. This is true. Original TNA goddess. This is true. R.I.P. She's in a better place now.
I don't know who that is. Now I gotta look it up.
Oh yeah, definitely look it up. She's great. She was in God, what is that stripper movie that I love? Showgirls. Man, she was great in that.
I think I remember that.
The old dudes in the chat all know. I'll know her.
I see she was in Legally Blonde.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Legally Blonde 3 is coming out.
What?
Yeah, can you believe they're making another one?
I did not know that they were making another one.
Yeah.
All right.
And I just watched the new Reese Witherspoon movie with Ashton Kutcher. It's like a romantic comedy. It's like a rom-com. And I didn't mind it. Like, I thought it was really fun. Like, it was like
the name of that? Because I've looked. Because I was
it's called Your Place or Mine.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's another one with Alison Brie that I really want to watch. Her and her husband apparently made a rom-com, and it's getting really good reviews. And so I really want to watch. I like rom-coms. So
I like rom-coms too. One of my favorites is Always Be My Maybe.
Oh,
I like that one.
Which one's that one? Hold on.
It's on Netflix. It's got oh gosh, what's her name? Ali Wong in it. I think that's her name.
I haven't seen this one. Yeah, Ali Wong. I haven't seen this one. Wait, Keanu Reeves is in this?
Yes, he plays Keanu Reeves in it.
What?
Yes, it is amazing.
How did I miss this?
It is such a good movie. It is such a good movie.
If you like
rom-coms, you need to watch this. This needs to be
I love rom-coms. You know what else I watched recently that I was really shocked that I really liked? Was a new movie with Eddie Murphy. It's not a rom-com. Well, it kind of is, but not really. Well, it kind of is because it's about like him being introduced to like his
Oh, is it the one with is it You People?
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to watch that one. Was that good?
It was good. It was funny. Like, it was really
It's got Jonah Hill in it.
Yeah, it took me aback because I thought it was gonna be like woke garbage, and I actually watched it so I can like kind of hate on it. Like I like
Watched it.
Yeah, I hate watched it because I was like, oh, this is gonna be good content. Like I should make fun of this. And then it turned out to be really good. And they actually talked about some stuff in there that was like about this culture war. Like it was about like what we're doing. And one of the characters was played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And she's like basically woke white woman. Like she plays woke white woman in the show because she's like the woke mom. And it just like it was so funny because she was like she basically played herself because she's woke and white now. But like, but it was just so like outrageous. And it's like it's almost as if they know they're outrageous and they're really dumb. Jonah Hill did a really good job because he basically created like he wrote it and he did a really good job. I really like I thought it was bizarre. Like I really thought it was gonna be bad, but it was good.
I'll be on a train for like 7 hours on Friday, so I need to watch that.
Well, there you go. Now
have
you
some
got
time.
a movie. Yeah. Wolfsbane for 5. Thank you. Says QQ. Is the age thing a problem if you grew up with the characters? Like I really like Hermione and Luna growing up. I need a female perspective. I think
Like,
if you're
if
the
you
same
like-
age, you're fine.
Yeah, if you're the same age, it's fine. Like I liked them whenever I was growing up because like it spoke to my age group at the time.
Same. Yeah.
So
I mean,
now if you're like 40 years old and crushing hard on Hermione,
yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of weird.
That's like, like mind you, I had a massive crush when I was like, what? When did Inuyasha come out? Like when I was like 14.
Yeah.
Like when I was like 14, 15, I had a massive crush on Sesshomaru, and he's a cartoon freaking demon, half demon, or no, he's a full demon, dog situation. So I mean, I don't know if I should be giving you advice on what kind of people you should be crushing on. I'm just saying. I can't judge you if you're crushing.
We all have our issues.
Like we all have issues, okay? Like I like same with like, what's it called? Tuxedo Mask. I've had a lot of crushes on cartoon characters. I just cannot be judging people about their crushes on fictional characters.
Yeah.
So I think same age range. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I can't believe I didn't ask you this question until like 2 hours in. But what house are you?
I'm Ravenclaw.
Ah, okay. All right. I'm Hufflepuff.
All right.
I'm Hufflepuff.
All right. So are you like you like all the plants and the animals and stuffs?
I definitely like plants. I definitely like puffing. I grew the shit out of that weed in that game. I can tell you that much right now. What was it called? Fluxweed or something? It was like,
fluxweed, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, go grow some fluxweed. I was like, you bet your ass, my Hufflepuff.
I just learned how to I just learned how to grow that today on stream. So
Oh, really?
yeah. I want to play it so bad, but I've been trying to be good and only playing it on stream. But
Oh, I love how everyone's like calling out their houses now.
yes, I am a Ravenclaw. My husband is a Gryffindor, but he thinks I should be a Hufflepuff because he says my spirit animal, which I know you're not supposed to say anymore, is a honey badger.
Oh shit. I love honey badgers.
Small and vicious, apparently.
Yeah, small and vicious. Wolfsbane for $2, and they protect what they love. Kara, Ravenclaw gang, rise up. See this, like, look at the Ravenclaws going off in the chat.
Hell yeah, chat. You get it.
Dude, you know what though? I'm super surprised. Ms. Martin Muses is a Slytherin. I am shocked, Teresa.
Slytherin has the coolest house.
Shocked. I am so shocked.
The coolest common room is the Slytherin common room in the game.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it yet.
It is So cool.
The reason and I say I'm shocked about this is because Teresa is a sweet lady that I stream with, and you would never have guessed that she'd be a Slytherin.
I don't know what
But-
she just said in chat. Kind of screams Slytherin to me.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, Teresa.
pure Slytherin right there.
She's like, I've taught too long not to be a Slytherin. I used to be a nice person.
But they just stole it all away from you.
You know what? Teresa's right, dude. She's seen some shit. I've heard stories. I've heard the stories. She's right. I don't blame you.
Oh my God.
God, what a fun stream. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Anytime. I had a blast.
I'm gonna definitely be inviting you back. And if you get a YouTube channel going, hey, I'll be there. I'll be there. We'll stream. We'll have fun.
Hell
And you
yeah.
know what? Once freaking Hogwarts Legacy becomes multiplayer, when they get that multiplayer going, which I think they should.
They should.
You got to get that dueling going, and you got to get Quidditch.
Quidditch,
Come
you
on.
saw that they're gonna try and rename Quidditch, though, right?
What?
I think I saw something about them trying to rename Quidditch to give birth or give a distance from JK.
What? What are they going to change it to?
I don't know. I don't know if that's actually true. I just remember seeing something about it. I don't know if it's true or not.
You mean like in the game?
I think
They've already referred to it as Quidditch several
Exactly.
times. So I don't know.
several times.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But
I don't-
I'm
what-
over it.
Davina Duckworth, what does this even mean?
I don't.
I'm a muggle smuggler? What? What do you do? What?
So you're a muggle and a smuggler? Are you? I don't know.
Quit trafficking people, Davina. Stop it. Stop it with the trafficking.
You're the nope. We're not. Nope. Never mind.
We're not
I'm
going
keeping
there.
my
We're
mouth
not going
shut.
there. We're
I'm
not
keeping
going
my
there.
mouth.
Oh my God. Okay. Everybody in the chat, I will be back to stream some amazing game stuff like Hogwarts Legacy, because that's what I'm still streaming right now. Make sure you follow Kara. All of the links is in the description. Check it out. And what do I have coming up next? Oh, Kara, I do another show on Fridays
Okay.
to balance out this crazy ass world. It's called Infinite Hope, where I talk about puppies, good humans. We just watch cute animals.
Okay.
We just talk about anything good, like anything
love
that
it.
is a good thing. That's what I talk about. So that's happening Friday at 2 Eastern. And one of these days, if you want to come on that show, you're more than welcome to. But
Hell
I'm
yeah.
trying to cultivate that, gotta balance out that energy,
We
right?
need
Like
it.
we need more goodness in this life. And so that's what I do on Fridays. I try to remind people that there's still goodness out there. So definitely check out that show, especially if you're feeling down or something at some time. Check it out.
Hell
It's
yeah.
all good stuff.
I am all in. If there's puppy videos or animal videos in general,
Oh yeah,
that is up my alley. I'm there.
it's a big part of the show. That, and also Turtle Love and Zombie Jonathan, because he loves turtles, and turtles make love and they make really cute noises. They go,
I have
"Oh."
lizards, but they're all asleep right now.
Oh my God, you have lizards?
I have a chameleon, I have a crested gecko, and I have 2 leopard geckos.
That's crazy. I
And it's
almost love
bedtime.
that. That's so cool.
Maybe I can show them off on one of your
Yes!
Innocent Hope shows.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna set this up. It's happening. You're gonna bring over your little lizard crew. We're gonna have fun.
Hell yeah.
Chat, you guys have been awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Extra thank you to those of you who super chatted. If you became a member, thank you. All that good stuff. Stay tuned for much more content from me, and make sure you sign up to this lovely lady. And we'll see you next time. Bye.